Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Give him the whole one. Give it to the people, mini-me.
I don't want to lose my track. The moral basis of people not knowing themselves and having babies, a lot of men don't got shit to contribute. If you can't even commit marriage to a motherfucking woman, what makes you think that she wants to commit to having a baby? That 9 to 10 months, that can fuck up that whole baby's life.
Yeah, not being supported.
Yeah, you can't even.
In the same way that she was talking about, asking for that promotion and things like that, because that also, when we're when we're seen as having some more control or power over in a work environment, people aren't going to abuse us as much. People aren't going to, supposedly, right? Where are we advocating? You know what I'm saying? In the same way of like not being prepared for fatherhood. Where are we advocating for those Black women in the job, in the workplace, and making sure that they are seen in the way that they should be and empowered in the way that they should, in the same way that in fatherhood and outside of fatherhood, when you know that your homie is going to have
Yo, regard me. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Talking shit, getting clicks. Mo3 time. Auxiliary micing tonight. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you knew this, but we just talked about Jesse Jackson a couple minutes ago. Didn't mean to hit that other button. All right, and what I want to talk about is actor Clifton Powell, the third, I believe he's the third. Clifton Powell, he is a hood famous Hollywood actor. You know, we know him as Pinky from Friday. That's how we know him. We know him as Pinky from Friday. He was Chauncey in the boy in Minister Society? I can't even talk. He was Chauncey in Minister. Go give me some links and grits. He played Chauncey. You remember him as Chauncey. Remember he was on Rock? The show Rock? I'm aging myself, I know. Playing Andre Thompson. Y'all remember Rock? Mother may have God bless a child that's got his own. That's got his own. But I can. Anyway, he was on Rock. All right, so what ends up happening is there is basically a round table discussion. Black men trust black men. It's called the Black Men, it's just called Black Men Trust Black Women Roundtable, presented by Sister Song and BLD Power. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 men getting together to talk about black women trusting them. Now, there are homosexual, gay, black people, colored men in this roundtable discussion, okay? Excuse me. Chauncey, Pinky, is the oldest. I mean, I'm just by observation. He's the oldest there. Age does not necessarily mean wisdom or intelligence or anything like that. However, they're having a conversation. I don't know if I want to give my opinion. Like, I think the whole conversation was stupid in the first place. But they went some things. They talk about mental health, and then there's some firing back. There's some differences of opinion. Everybody on the internet is talking about this right now. This is one of those things that I would usually just go like, no, never mind. Let's not talk about it. But in watching it and watching a bigger portion of the video than most people are showing online, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, like in doing so, it inspired me for more conversation. All right. If you're with it, I appreciate it. Hang out with me. We'll talk about this. Ramit, let's get you back. Right? We can talk about this. And I'm gonna play the video. And then I'm gonna just go. But I'm gonna play the video and I'm gonna just go. I'm not gonna like leave or anything like that. But hold on. But I will definitely prep the phone call line. I got the line. I will open the lines. Okay? Or if you got the private line, hit the private line. But let me play this and you guys listen to this and let it be.
Having kids, when you know that your brother or whoever is thinking about having kids, how are you empowering the mother or who could be the mother, and how are you holding your brother or your homie accountable? And what does that even mean?
The same conversation I can say like, hey, you need to ask for it 150, 200, 175, be the same conversation like, you know, like, what's he doing?
Right.
You know, like, and it's like, it might be a conversation. I think also with certain conversations, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever, you're still a man. Whenever a woman wants to open up and talk to you about certain things, that's when you want to talk about it. Like, you can't be overbearing, because with patriarchy, with masculinity, it's kind of like you trying to talk about something you want to talk about and shouldn't even want to talk about that. That's you exerting your masculinity over somebody. So, like, whenever my friends talk about their dating, majority of my friends are introverts. They're real kind of like to themselves. They don't like to talk about their business. When they do open up, that's when I ask, like, hey, like, you know, you have X, Y, and Z. Is he providing you what you need? Or is he just a placeholder until that right man comes? So sometimes it will be different. It just depends. Yeah. Because you got to be the person to say it.
Yeah. I would say too.
You got to go ahead. No, I want to see what you're going to say.
No, I'll go ahead.
And placeholder might not be the right thing. It might not be the right thing to say, but.
You know, I was just talking about I'm 70 years old. So I come from a whole nother era than any of you Negroes is talking about.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, and I'm not saying I'm right, I think everybody is right. Because there's so many levels to this. But most of this was laid on our parents' parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915 and his parents were slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. So what I've learned is it's not your mother's fault, it's not your father's fault, it's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate Black women. I live with a psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. But in closing on this, because I don't want to get too deep, I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad. I'm fucking up. So I never been monogamous. So I don't fucking know what it
What age did you become a monogamous?
today. No, but let me just say what it is.
Good to know.
And we don't talk about this. We don't talk about dopamine being in a pleasant center of the brain like we talked about oxytocin is the hormone. It's called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we're just talking in generalities. And that's why I think what you said about counseling, because a counselor is going to get inside of this from a real, not even white people perspective, just from a scientific perspective, unless science is not wrong and the brain is not remaining what it is. So when I hurt my girl, which I've done over and over, and I commend her for even being with me, and I said it in my podcast, and I'm gonna say this and stop. I called one of my partners who was brilliant. He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, the people that raised us, those men who treated the women outside the house nice, but then put the thumb on the grandmama and put the thumb on the girlfriend or whoever. They are all, it all comes from out of all of that. And I think that's what makes me excited that we're going to bring the women and the uncles and we need to bring them all in here. But go ahead, what are you going to say?
The one thing that I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say the name right, crop this part out.
Luke.
Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, what our families did to us, all this, all that. But eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually it comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired and, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about like, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon
let me
yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
Can
love.
I say one more
Hold
thing?
on.
No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by
It's
this.
all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Because I'm living it right the fuck now.
As I said,
Listen to
I
what
said
I'm saying.
60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Don't
bro.
overtalk
I'm
me.
gonna fucking overtalk you
I'm
because
good,
you're talking out
but
of
you're
line,
not
nigga.
gonna disrespect
You don't know
me.
what the fuck you talking
I
about.
am.
I just
I
learned
do.
to love at 60,
I do.
bro. You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
Because you can't
I do.
shit.
I
You don't
do.
know it, nigga.
I do. I'm good.
You don't know what the fuck you.
Sorry about that. I lost my mind. I'm sorry I lost my mind. There's going to be profanity on this, guys. There's a lot going on here. I can get why people are showing this. When I was going through YouTube, I seen people with, like a thumbnail not similar to mine, because no one makes thumbs like me. Shut up. Shut up. But I seen people talking about this subject, and I looked at them like, yo, like the whole conversation, I think is an hour and some change. I've seen people do 3-hour lives just on 5 minutes, five minutes of content. They've done 3-hour lives, and I understand it right now. Let you know what I'm saying. I get it. I get it. There is so much going on here. Just in this little transaction between the two of them. This is something you gotta rewind and go back and break down and look at body language. But Buddy right here, in this picture right here, I'm gonna tell you like this. He's got anger issues. It seems like an older male authority type figure let him down when he was a child. That's the therapy from me talking. The therapy. Because these guys are in here talking about the trust of a black woman. And it's a round table. And I don't know, I don't want to come off disrespectful. And maybe this could be viewed as like a learning experience for me. But if these are gay men, exclusively gay men, I'm just assuming right here. If these are exclusively gay men, why would they want to even be interested in the black men trust black women roundtable? Because it implies the relationship between black men and black women. Not saying that a black gay man can't have a relationship with a black woman, or he wants to sit up here and I don't know, maybe they all black women, including his mother and his aunts and everything like that in here. But I would think, like, just on first thought, this is about the relationship, like the romantic, familial type of relationship between a man and a woman, specifically Black History Month, black man and black woman. So I'm kind of thrown off of why like a gay man would be in this conversation. But then also, and this is like kind of off topic here, but on topic, that shirt he's wearing, that's got to be Fashion Nova for men. That's something Ev Love would make me wear, ladies and gentlemen, with the chains and everything. Love, would you make me wear that? Let me know this. He would. She likes to put a fit together for me. Hey, Aunt Sherry. So disrespectful to that old man. Like, right, I understand. Gay men have mothers, sisters, and cousins and stuff like that. You might be behind on it might be delayed, though. But I have to question that because, oh, my God. My wife dressed me up as a gay black man on vacation, guys. I didn't mean to hit the ew. I didn't mean to hit the ew button. But that's what she does. And she laughs only on vacation. This is it. Yo, this is exactly what Love would put me in. One of those shirts where it looks like no matter how, if you button to the top button, it's still like 3 buttons are still undone. Like, you don't want to see the top of I don't have taco meat. But, and then the chains, and then like a wire rim, it'd probably be a gold sunglass. She puts me, that's he's wearing the vacation package right now. He's got the vacation package on, the vacation. Right. So Love, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yes, gay men have sisters, cousins, mothers, and grandmothers and stuff like that. But I was thinking about this was more of like a relationship type of deal, And I was also wondering why they wouldn't just have like actually like a woman. But then if I get why they wouldn't have a woman there. It's just a men coming together as a panel to talk about the relations between black men and black women. But I'm looking in the chat. I see Auntie saying that was crazy. I'm seeing Love is saying it's disrespectful AF to that old man. 70 years old, is Evelyn calls everybody young. They can be like, I call everybody old. I do. Everybody to me is old. If you are over 30 years old, you're old AF to me. You're old AF to me. And I'm older than 30. Really? But I don't think it's just everybody else, not me included. Right. But let's go back just a tad bit. When he's talking. All right, that guy talks. All right. And then Powell's talking right now. Now check this out.
Everybody is right. Because there's so many levels to this. Mm-hmm. But most of this was laid on our parents' parents.
Now it just seems like he's giving this is what I've noticed in this interview. They're talking about the male patriarchy, which is crazy to me, the male patriarchy. Because they're trying to get rid of the male patriarchy, which I don't think any black man in this effing world should be having this conversation right now. About the patriarchy. Because we're a part of the patriarchy, but we're not part of the patriarchy. We're in that tree. But I mean, if I would think that patriarchy would be a tree. It's like a patriarchy and then there are little branches down. You're either patriarchy or you're one of the branches of patriarchy. And yeah, black man would be a branch of patriarchy. But the way our society has it set up here in the United States of America, the black man is not that patriarchy. Our relationship with our women should not be discussed in the same light as a regular, traditional, quote unquote, American white man, white woman relationship. We don't relate like that. Am I lying? Am I lying? Ramid says respect your elders. I agree with that. I agree. I was raised to respect older people, and we've raised the kids to do the same. Kiki is mad disrespectful. Keep it real. She is. But it's a fun disrespect. No disrespect is fun. You know what I mean? All right. No, but she's cool. She's a teenager. All right. Bow. Auntie. Need to respect your elder. Damn right. Exactly. Damn right. There we go. I don't want this to be a echo chamber. I don't want to be an echo chamber. But basically what I'm saying is that the conversation that these black men were having, it kind of threw me, right? And then when you see Clifton Powell with the characters that he's played versus the message that is coming out of his mouth, I am letting you know he is a great, wonderful actor. Right. But obviously when it's gonna get stupid, he's gonna go off. But the thing is that it basically looks like he lived a life he didn't know any better, and he's like, yo, forgive your parents, right? Forgive your grandparents, forgive your great grandparents, because they had to endure such extreme circumstances to allow for the bloodline to survive, for you to be where you are today, right? And they weren't perfect, and they didn't have everything and all the tools and the knowledge that you have right now. So yeah, we respect our older people, and then respecting doesn't mean blindly just nodding our head and saying yes, that's right, baba, or whatever, you know. Yes, uncle. Yes, uncle. Yes, uncle, you're right, uncle. It doesn't mean that. It just means that when you have a disagreement, there is a respectful way to disagree. You know? And you want to take a little extra care with it. And as a younger person talking to, if an older person is just stuck and they just have that, then I will say what I have to say. And if you can't go anywhere, and this is with anybody else, if you can't, move or motivate anybody out of their way of thinking and you just disagree with them, then you just gotta let that shit go, man. It's not that serious, especially an older person. Like you barely, I know there's cameras on and maybe he was aware of some cameras and wanted to make a little steam, but also as
Its parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915.
As he's talking,
and his
look at his
parents
body
were
language.
slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. 1950. So this was
Right.
laid on our parents' parents.
Yeah.
My father was
That's
born
a
in
sit back. If we're doing body language, he's sitting forward, listening to what he's got to say. When he says that it goes on my parents, he starts to sit back. He sits back because he wants to get far away from that message as possible, and because he disagrees with that message, and we could tell right there. And this is just like I haven't.
1915, and his parents were slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. So what I've learned is it's not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate Black women. I live with.
He doesn't like that. That's why he took a sip of that drink. You see the sip of the drink? He does not like saying that because he said Black women have an edge, which is debatable. It's debatable.
Psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. But in closing on this, because I don't want to get too deep, I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad. I'm fucking up. So
Remember, look at the title: Black Men Trust Black Women Roundtable. He's talking about his life, how he's treating women, and how at a point he's got to phone a friend to talk about an issue.
never been monogamous, so I don't even fucking know what it
What age did you become a monogamous?
today. No, but let me just say what it is.
Good to know.
And we don't talk about this. We don't talk about dopamine being in the pleasure center of the brain like we talked about oxytocin is the hormone. It's called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we.
Now he's going to psychology talk of why he has been unable to be monogamous throughout his life and his relationships right now, right? Some would take that as pertinent information and good information because it seems to me like this. The things that he's talking about and talking about the chemicals in his brain, this is new age type shit, right? He might be 70 years old, but honestly, he might have been figuring this out, from his 50s, maybe his 40s. Yo, I gotta admit, I am years old, and there's stuff that I still learn about myself, which is amazing. Sometimes it's just like, oh, bro, all your life, this is what you've been doing all your life. Yuck, gross. But that's the beauty of finding yourself. And he seems like a man that has actually, he's wanted to discover him. He's wanted to discover himself. I can't believe I just did that. Like he's wanted to discover himself, and he's explaining, and it seems like there's some kickback there. There seems like there's going to be a little kickback. Just a little, I think it was over here. I was over here with it. That's the thing. Craziness.
You
All right,
cannot
let's watch it out.
contain it. I think that's it. And what
I like when it's attached to my care for Black gay men. Bear with me.
So, all right. So check this out. This is going to be the second guy. I don't know his name. This guy, the guy with the glasses, he's going to talk. Listen to him because him and Clifton, we're going to be talking about.
Up is different. There's no sex attached to my care for Black women. So I would say for me as a child, one of the strongest women that were within my life was my grandmother. She was someone who loved me with everything. She was someone who made sure that whenever I walk into a room, know that I'm not trying to sound cocky or nothing, but
Enter your
eyes will
6-digit
be
PIN
on you.
number.
People will be listening to you. Whatever you want to be in your life, you can be, whether that be a president, a CEO, whether
Welcome,
you own your
host.
own
You
business,
have
whether
not
you be a
started the
millionaire,
show
anything
session
you
in
want to
Callum's
do, you
studio
can
and
do.
cannot yet receive
And
calls
with
on
that,
talk
my
and shit
grandmother
get
was
empty.
someone, she was a banker. You
Please
know, she
visit
was
the-
someone
Sorry,
who,
Welcome,
she
host.
helped her
You are
community.
now in the
She,
host room
all the
and can
people
manage your
from
callers from
Arkansas,
the
Little
Callum
Rock, Arkansas,
Studio web
North Little Rock,
interface.
Arkansas, she knew all the millionaires. She knew all the
Audio
business
recording
owners.
is
She
on.
told people yes, no. She ran her bank. She ran her branch. She had people pull guns out on her and trying to rob her. That same woman who left work, she was someone who raised 2 strong sons. My father's a federal investigator. My uncle, my late uncle, he was a manager of the VA for the suicide unit. She was someone who raised strong black men. And the same black men that she supported, the same black man that she fed that was also her husband, also be the same people that put their thumb on their motherfucking head. You know? So what I'm trying to say is,
Let's go back.
That. I can't, but ain't nobody gonna make
He's talking about putting the thumb. Clifton Powell made
It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault.
He made a comment about putting thumbs later. So, I mean, earlier in the talk, Clifton made the thumb comment.
The
So
mother,
it seems like when he's
5200,
responding, he's kind of
175,
responding
the same conversation.
directly to Clifton.
fatherhood, where are we advocating for those black women in the job, in the workplace, and making sure that they are seen in the way that they should be and empowered in the way that they should, in the same way that in fatherhood and outside of fatherhood, when you know that your homie is gonna have thinking about having kids, when you know that your brother or whoever is thinking about having kids, how are you empowering the mother that, or who could be the mother, and how are you holding your brother or your homie accountable? And what does that even
What does that even mean?
mean?
The same.
Yeah. Why would you would hold? I mean, you're gonna hold him accountable, and why can't they both be held accountable and both be taken care of? Why can't they both be held down and both be held accountable? I'm just asking. I'm asking that question to you guys out there. Please tell me in the chat. I'm gonna rewind it, and please this is where I'm coming with.
About having kids, when you know that your brother or whoever is thinking about having kids, how are you empowering the mother that, or who could be the mother, and how are you holding your brother or your homie accountable?
That right there, to me, it's kind of like, if you're listening, that's disgusting to me. I'm just talking. I'm not. I don't know whether they're making excuses comment. I know it's not down to me, but this guy right here, like he's embracing, not emboldening. What did he say?
Or is thinking about having kids, how are you empowering?
Empowering. There it is. So, I mean, the way he's talking, I would have to question when he says, what does that even mean? I would have to say, why can't they both be empowered and made accountable? If you're going to be that friend to both of them, why does the woman only deserve to be empowered? Meanwhile, the man only deserves to be held accountable. When you talk like this, it seems like you're putting the onus of, I don't know, maybe a fault, and maybe I'm projecting, but maybe you're putting the onus and the fault on like the black men in relationships here. And maybe that's just the point of all of them. Hey, we're going to come out here as brothers. We're going to put our dirt all on the table to see if we get better men for these women. I appreciate that. But you can't, how do you become better if you decide that, hey, we're going to put the foot down this guy's ass and we're just going to offer a helping hand to the sister? Like, that seems bass backwards to me. It does. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Call in 313-825-5557. I don't really do the, man versus woman thing here. I'm just talking about this specific conversation and the thought processes of these men here at this round table because honestly, I wanted to, talk about all the disrespect and the fight and everything around, but this became an actual interesting conversation while I was listening to it. It provided more than just the entertainment of two dudes fighting and arguing, yelling at each other across the table. But there were just like this thinking right here, I would have to push back on. I would definitely have to we would have to dig deeper into that aspect of what he just said right there. Because I don't know who is at this table other than Clifton Powell. I don't know these guys by face. If they're on podcasts or social media, I don't follow them like that. No disrespect. I probably should, and I will.
The mother,
a couple of them,
or who could be the mother, and how are you holding your brother or your homie accountable? And what does that even mean?
The same conversation I can say like, hey, you need to ask for it 150, 200, 175. Be the same conversation like, what's he doing?
Right.
And it's like, it might be a conversation. I think also with certain conversations, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or whatever, you're still a man. Whenever a woman wants to open up and talk to you about certain things, that's when you want to talk about it. Like, you can't be overbearing because with patriarchy, with masculinity, it's kind of like you trying to talk about something you want to talk about and shouldn't even want to talk about that. That's you exerting your masculinity over somebody.
Oh, I have Fashion Over for men. I got a problem with that. I have a problem with that. The black man is always accountable for his family. You damn right. Damn right. Father, no, that's not the black history I read. This is not the black history I read. We got a whole different history than that. Yes, obviously, the black man is going to be the responsible one, household and family. But let's not act like we have not been hand in hand, neck and neck, foot with foot, equally yoked with our counterparts throughout these histories. I don't want to talk about the Sojourner Truths or the Shirley Chisholms or the Harriet Tubmans or all these beautifully strong women that we've had throughout history. Capable, intelligent, ingenuitive, if that's a word, creative women. We've always been neck and neck. It hasn't, yes, accountable, legally accountable, right? We got the right to vote before them and everything like that. But our situation is not that of a European American. It's just not. I disagree with that flashback. It isn't. So when I see like black men talking about the patriarchy in the black community, that shit is crazy to me. That stuff's crazy to me. Also, the whole thing about when she doesn't want to talk and that's when you want to talk, or when you want to talk or whatever. That's y'all got to figure that out as a couple. I know. That's neither male nor female. Believe me. Love is I want to talk, you want to talk, and I'm the same damn way, and we just have to hash that out. He's younger. I'll give it up to being young, and I don't know. He talks. It seems like he talks to a lot of women. It does not seem to me that this guy right here that's talking has a lot of males friends in his life, like male heterosexual friends in his life, and we need to do something about that. All right. This guy said he's gay. That's just what he is. He's gay. We need to, as men, period, whatever your sexual proclivities are, we need to talk more. So like me in the beginning when I was talking about something, I don't understand why he's here. I understand right now perfectly clear why he's here, because he needs a little education. However, he seems to be a little bit more of the outgoing, outspoken type. And when you have one of those type of quote unquote like alpha personalities there, when they're dumb, it's hard to teach an alpha anything because they're being alphas. It's hard. It's hard when someone's keyed up. You can't get through to them. But yeah, that one was crazy. I would have called back on here. I'd have been like, men, like, what are we talking about with this patriarchy shit? That would have been the first thing. But that's kind of crazy. But I also do like, hey, I have this calling line. If you don't agree, you agree. Break it down to me. Help me understand. Help me understand what's going on here.
So, like, whenever my friends talk about their dating, majority of my friends are introverts. They're real kind of like to themselves.
Oh, his friends are introverts. They're kind of real to himself. And he's so damn outspoken. It seems like when we're talking about people being patriarchal and dominating, it seems like he engages in relationships where he is the patriarchy. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. But I got a call in line. I don't know. And it always goes back to that.
He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, the people that raised us, those men who...
Look at that face. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Look how he's looking there. Is he looking? Is he sitting here? Is he listening to understand? Or is he listening to be a little combative? Because I see combativeness here. And by his response...
treated the women outside the house nice, but then put the thumb on the grandmama and put the thumb on the girlfriend or whoever. They are all, it all comes from out of all of that. And I think that's what makes me excited that we're going to bring the women and the uncles and we need to bring them all in here. But go ahead, what are you going to say?
The one thing that I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say the name right, crop this part out. Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, what our families did to us, all this, all that. But eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired and, kind of like putting onto them.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to throw an ew. I'm going to throw an ew there. I'm going to throw an ew. Because once again, hold on, listen to this.
In 6 years, I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired and,
That's what gets me. Black women are tired. Does he get to say that, black women? Does he get to say that? You think he's ready to attack? Yes? He's ready to attack. Ready to attack. Does he get to say, I just want to know, personally me, I want to be like, maybe phrase it that way. I want to phrase it that way. But is he allowed to speak for black women? Dad issues, definitely. Maybe grandpop issues. Maybe dad wasn't there. He's raised by grandparents and he had grandparent issues. Yeah? Yeah, we're getting somewhere now.
Kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about like, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
I mean, in this whole thing, they're talking about how they need to listen to women, and then right here, he's telling him, don't wait for a woman. Like, Love tells me what to do all the effing time. You know what I mean? It don't mean I'ma listen. What you doing? Yeah, y'all better chill out. Love does tell me all the time, and that's how I end up wearing Fashion Nova men's shirts with tight chains around my neck. But it's on vacation. You'll never see those pictures. You'll only see me on vacation in a t-shirt. You'll never see me when I'm wearing my sexy Fashion Nova men's fashions. Moving on.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know that I didn't know fucking how to
Can
love.
I say one more
Hold on.
thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by
It's all
this,
right,
Oh,
just
yeah,
saying, bro.
you-
but
you
when you
are.
hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues
I'm living
with.
it right the fuck now.
As I said,
Listen to
I
what I'm
said
saying.
60s
Let
and
me say-
70s.
Let me say this.
Don't
bro.
overtalk
I'm
me.
a fucking over.
What do we think about that there? Gang? The man is always accountable for his family, but Pops, that's patriarchal. It's patriarchal. Disgusting. What do we think, guys? You buy Fashion Nova? Nope. I don't buy no Fashion Nova. Not no Fashion Nova for men. I ain't gonna lie, I got a shirt like that, but it's brown. It's brown. Did I buy that or you bought it? I might have bought it. But because I knew she was gonna buy it for me anyway. Real shit. All right. But anyway, we saw him spazzing. I love this part though. And I love how Clifton Powell handled it.
Talk.
Wow.
Protect. I'm to say,
Go back.
stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need. Go on to counseling. Have that.
So he went at him for going to get counseling, which is crazy. Which is like, maybe it's more young and impetuous thinking, because like right now, I don't know. Like I said again, I am not 70 years old. I am years old, but for me and my generation, it is not like if you go see some like a therapist or a psychologist or some shit like that, it's not the end of the world. It's not like The Sopranos where you could get whacked out. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's not really looked down upon. It looks like it's good grooming, and it is. You work on your body or your diet. You know what I mean? You need to make sure your brain's working correctly, your thoughts are working correctly. Yeah, you need to every now and then. Mostly if you got a job and some health benefits or something like. If you got some good health benefits, you usually get a couple free sessions per year. You guys, everybody out there, I'd say go choose a good therapist and go give it a chit chat. See what it's like. See what it's like. I've had some good ones. I've had some terrible ones. I've had some. I like the terrible ones. I'm not gonna lie. I like terrible therapists, like therapists that I'm not going to vibe with, because it's much easier of getting it all off my chest. I'm not even gonna lie about that. That's just what happens. Like, oh man, she's terrible. I'll never talk to this lady or this dude again. I'm never talking to him again. This is like this. I am just doing one session. I will unload, and that's what I do. Love says a lot of men wait till they get old to try to be good and treat and disrespect their women for decades. Yeah, vice versa. Women, men. We got to get out of this whole women, men thing. We got to get out of it. We got to get it in. That's the only way you're going to end the quote unquote patriarchy. Really. You know what I mean? So next time some chick bumps you online, punch her in her jaw. You know what I mean? You know? Next time you see a guy out in the street and you know what I'm saying, he's looking handsome and he's smelling good out there, guys, ask him out for a coffee. It doesn't have to lead to anything. We got to treat each other. We need to just treat each other with love. Love and respect. And you can't have any love if you don't have any respect. You know what I mean? But it does seem like this guy has some daddy issues.
Upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon
let me
yourself.
address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know that I didn't.
Now he's addressing it quickly. Let me address it quickly. He starts talking, and then we're about to see.
No fucking how to
Can I say one more
Hold on.
thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life
Interrupting, crazy.
for so long, and I'm not meaning no
He's interrupting him to try to cut him off because he thinks he knows what he's going to say.
disrespect by
It's all
this.
right. Just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Yeah, he's living it right now. Let him talk. He's in his 60s and 70s, and he wants to discuss like what he's gone through to maybe help out people that are younger than him, people that are in his peers that are still going through the bullshit that he was going through. Maybe he wants to help them right now, but you can't have a conversation where you're talking. You can't listen and talk at the same time. That's all. Fool me once, shame on them. You can't fool me again. You cannot listen and talk at the same time. And it seems like he's trying to be very patriarchal and dominate the conversation.
Right the fuck now.
As I said,
listen to
I said 60s and
now, Clifton Powell was getting heated. His voice raised a little bit, but he was staying on topic.
70s.
Let me say this.
Don't overtalk me.
I'm gonna fucking overtalk you because you're talking out of line.
But you're not gonna disrespect.
Yeah, he said you're talking out of line. N-word. I love this exchange.
Oh, I am.
I do. Love it.
I do.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
You can't
I do. I do.
You don't know it, nigga.
Guy just clutched his pearls.
I'm good.
Mamas came over there. He needs to drink some water. He said
I'm
back.
living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but he's generalized. You can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loved all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we all so fucked up right now.
You asked, how do we love black people?
All right. So that's what you see. It got a little heated. Buddy got up and left because he obviously had some anger issues, and he was projecting towards Clifton Powell and some shit. And you see that the Clifton got upset, but he brought it back around and kept talking about what he was talking about. You know, I thought that this was a great conversation. I think that a lot of the I guess the fireworks that a lot of people saw were, you know, obviously it wasn't as big as it was. You know, as people made it out to be. It wasn't like a big fight or somebody got, you know, snatched across the table or anything like that. But what it did do is allow, you know, the nosy, curious people such as myself to go in and watch this interview and hear a little bit more of what they were talking about that went way past the fight. I don't understand. Love. Call in, please. Call in. Let's talk about this. I do not want to talk about this by myself. I do not want to talk about this by myself. You see, this is what we're talking about right now. We left the show, came back to the show. We did a show on Jesse Jackson earlier. You guys check it out. I was dropping some jewels on Jesse Jackson, rest in peace. Right? But this is where we are right now. Call in 313-825-5557. Enough. Yo, do y'all really think that they were really Epstein files? Were we Epstein filing? I can't stay away from it. Howard Lucknick, glad he left. I think he's coming back.
Women.
Yeah.
That's right here. Trust black women and listen to black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I
thought I was being loved all this time. That's what our parents have gone through.
Right here, trust black women and listen to black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I don't think that's true either.
As men,
there's a lot of black women who don't know how to love.
I'm not talking about what they know how to love. I'm saying what they need as far as the reproductive.
I get that.
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about.
He's frustrated
right now. Also, if we're going to use our privilege and power as men in society, how do we show up and be accountable? Like you said, the way to be accountable is to dismantle patriarchy, because patriarchy makes it so that men have the power and women do not.
But you can't get.
That's crazy. Is that true? I don't know about this patriarchy stuff. Oh Lord, here we go. Get ready to clip. Get ready to clip, ladies and gentlemen. I give you F love. Aww. Oh yeah. What, are you muted?
Yes.
Oh, you're here. Can you hear me?
Good night.
What do you think about all this craziness? Is it
Really?
craziness? Is it craziness?
Oh, Harry. Oh, girl.
Maybe we need to talk about how women treat men. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, mama. Love you.
Oh, I just love how you just get on. See? This is shit I'm talking about, fellas. This is why we have the patriarchy.
Make me call him.
Yeah, you are live on my show. I am not muting you. You are live on my show. I might be muting her. If I'm muting you, then you know what? I could be muting you right now. I'm not muting you right now.
I'm live, but
You're
I
live.
don't hear anything.
You don't hear me?
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear me talking to you right now? Hello? 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 Hello?
Oh, now I hear you.
You hear me now? Thank God.
Yeah, I hear you now. I didn't hear you earlier. I just heard it on my TV that you could hear me.
At Sunlight says maybe we need to talk about how women treat men. I don't ever see a round table of how women treat men.
This show, obviously, it's not about that. So are you going to stay on topic or not? What are we doing? Because this show was obviously about women.
This is about black men trust black women, round table.
Right.
So ultimately, look, what are we supposed to be trusting black women about?
What do you mean about what? You have a mother. What do you trust your mother with?
Yo, Mom, I do have a mother. I have a mother. And this might be the Clifton Powell issue that he's having with these younger guys out here. I do have a mother, okay? My mother taught me to always cut those cards. Are you listening to me?
I hear you.
After she dealt them to me, when she was the dealer, she said you always cut the cards. You know what that means?
No.
That means DTA.
Explain.
DTA. Don't trust anybody.
Not even herself? Not even her?
Nope, I don't trust my mama. She played pool too good. She did.
Oh, you're doing too much.
She told me to cut
the cards.
You're
doing too much.
No, I love my mom. Obviously, I trust my mother. But I don't really think this. I think this conversation really is more geared towards the relationship, like a romantic relationship between a man and a woman, not necessarily just a boy and his mom, or the dude and his niece, or anything like that. Like, this seems like.
But we need to get to the root of it. Most men that treat women bad, it comes from somewhere. It doesn't just start from just any woman. It's rooted. It's rooted in other things.
Do you think it could be rooted
comes from the grandmother, the family?
Right. Do you think it could quite possibly come from another woman?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I also think that your relationship with your parents determines a lot on how you are going to treat other people and how your expectations of other people, the way you want other people to treat. I think it really has a lot to do with that. So, and I'm not saying it's 100%, and I'm not saying that that's everybody's case, but I think it does. It sets you up for your expectations. It sets you up for the way you treat others. It sets you up for what you know, because that's they're your teachers, or you're learning from them. So obviously, that has a lot to do with that. But I think this table was what the old man was trying to say, which in my understanding, was kind of like his experience as an older man, and everything is lived, and how he's just starting at 70 to realize how much stuff shit he's done, and how, you know, he's come to like that thing that perhaps he's telling others that are younger to be like, you can come at it at 40, you can come to it at 35, you don't have to be 70 like me. But the other kid, so rude and so disrespectful, would not let him talk, took whatever he said out of, he never said anything disrespectful or anything that wasn't true to his reality.
Right.
And he was just like running with some other stuff and getting loud, and I don't know. But again, he did say he hasn't seen his dad in like 6 years. He, you know, F that man. Like, obviously he has a hate for older men. And you mentioned that earlier. I think that's where it comes from, his disrespect comes from.
I'll be breaking shit down psychologically.
Yeah. Psychologically, yeah. I mean, it makes sense that he would hate why an older man is trying to do things right, because he's thinking, oh, my father is probably going to be 70 like you, and eventually say, oh, now I want to do it right. And he ain't going to have time for him. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably just thinking of that.
Like, yeah, he's coming from a deeply personal place when he
right.
You know,
and I think he was talking as a son, not necessarily as a man, you know, in a relationship, because obviously he's gay. He's not going to be in a relationship with a woman. But I'm sure, you know, a lot of gay men have friends that are women, and, you know, and you know, maybe he's talking from experience from other women.
Just off, do you think, like, there's a saying that say that single women single friends keep their friends single, single women keep their friends single? Have you ever heard of that saying?
It can happen. I have, and yeah, absolutely. I think, but it's not everyone. I mean, like, you have to have
his
good
girlfriends single. That's what I get. I get it.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of women are going to value his opinion.
Yeah.
Even more than
because he's a man.
Even more than a woman.
That, you know, he's a man. He knows
where
what
he's a man, but he's not but he doesn't live the life. He doesn't have the thought process, the emotional, you know.
We don't know that. We don't know that because you're not gay, and you wouldn't know. You don't know that. We don't know that.
I'm gonna say he doesn't, just by observation. You know what? I've been in this gay universe for so long.
You're making an assumption. You don't know.
I'm making an assumption that he is not a masculine gay guy. He isn't. He isn't one of those guys you're like, oh shit, he's gay.
He's not very
like
masculine.
He's out there with it. Okay. So with that being said, that is where I'm, you know, just observation. I'm looking at his tone, looking at his body language, his whole actions and stuff like that. And I think if you trust me enough, because this conversation was black men trust black women. I need this black woman to trust me.
Well, you say you don't trust anyone, so you don't trust. Apparently, you don't trust me, so I don't know.
Yeah, Mama said cut the cards.
We need to talk about this
later.
And
I trust her when she said that. I trust her on that. Cut the cards. Cut these cards. Everybody out there, cut the cards. No, but I'm just saying that like he's obviously he's a man, right? And when we group all men together, yes, we have different things that make us different from other men. But him being in relationships and having romantic relationships with other men, not only that, it seems like his friendship group base is either gay men or women, straight or gay women. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of not masculine, straight heterosexual men in his life that aren't.
Well, Maurice, we know that straight men kind of try to stay away from gay men because they don't want others to think that they're gay.
Exactly, and that's why I made the whole point of like gay men and heterosexual men. We need to cultivate relationships, and I'm not even going to say pause on that or anything like that. We will be mature on this, but we as
because
men
then you'll be back. Yeah, because then you'll be back to exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but believe me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all zombies out here.
I know you're pressured to say pause.
So much so I'm holding no, not really, but because I really this is a true sentiment, and it's just true thought that like men, just period, we need to fellowship and be around men, no matter what like I said, your sexual inclinations
Yeah.
are. It would probably be helpful. But I say all of this when I talk about
Absolutely.
him and his life because like he has a lot of women friends and he talked about like asking
Hmm.
his women, are we going to go for like what, are we going like we're going for the money, or we're going to talk about, is this guy going to be real in your life, like
Hmm.
he is a trap for a lot of, for his girlfriends out there. He's a trap. He's a trap because I'm going to say that those girls, like we said before, those girls are going to trust him more because he's a man, when they should in fact trust him less because he has less experience with
But, but
heterosexual
let's
men.
bring something up really quickly.
Mhm.
A lot of people are friends because they have a lot of things in common, right?
Right.
Or something in common. And a lot of the times they become friends because they have this mutual hate for us, for men.
Mhm.
They have a lot of thoughts on a lot of issues that Black women or women in general have, that maybe gay men think that they can relate to. I don't know. And
That's deep.
I think that, those views bring them together. And, if hating men is one of them, let's hate together and clap about it. You know what I mean? And let's just, it happens a lot. It's not just with gay men and women. A lot of women that have been in horrible relationships, that have been abused, they look for the women that they can relate to and have relationships with them. And then they all sit there and hate together, instead of actually what we need to do. It's overcome it, and the way to overcome it is not being around a person that's going through the same things you're going through. Yes, it might help, but someone that wants to be better, that's going through with you, is a different person than someone that wants to stay where you are, and you're trying to, like, they're not going to help you, they're going to drag you back. And that's where the difference comes, is you need to choose your friends wisely. Do I want a friend that's going to make me hate myself, hate every single man in the world? Or do I want someone that's going to help me get out of this thought and make me look at life differently? Not all men are the same, you know what I mean? And I don't have to hate every single man. And I don't have to, whatever happened in my last relationship, I don't have to bring it to the next one. Like, those things are, what you should be focusing on, and not, going
F 'em,
backwards.
girl,
But
F 'em.
anyway, that's another
F 'em,
topic.
girl, F 'em.
Yeah, like, no, that's not, and that is, we see it a lot online. Like, sometimes it's like a joke and whatever, but we see it a lot where, it's like,
Oh, you
let's
see it
hate men, let's
Reddit
hate
all
men,
the
let's hate men.
time.
And
Women will
and
tell
every single social
women
media you
tell
can think
women to
of.
divorce over stupid shit. Divorce them, girl.
Over a man not washing a dish, over a
Yeah.
man not,
Left the
saying, oh,
toilet seat up.
I want to go
Divorce
play.
them. Like, and I'm
Divorce
not
him
even
right now.
exaggerating. It sounds like a joke, but literally, he left the toilet seat up. Oh, girl, he doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about anything. And they go into all these things, and it's like divorce.
Yeah, because ultimately everything is all about the principle. Oh, but it's the principle. If he doesn't care about the toilet seat, then he doesn't care about this either. Like, this is the mentality of a lot of people, a lot of women, or people that hate men, and hate relationships, not just men, because there are men that also feel the same way, like you were saying, hate relationships because they have been through horrible relationships. So they're like, don't ever get married. And you are one of those. You're guilty. You always say, don't get married.
Yeah.
You say, don't get married.
Yeah. Don't ever.
Meanwhile, you have this wife that loves you, and you tell other people not to have somebody that loves them. Whatever, Maurice.
Don't you ever march yourself down and get the government to sign you a piece of paper. If that person wants to be with you, if y'all want to have a little ceremony together and make your little vows to that person, which should be the most important thing, right? Then you make your vows with that person, and then everything else is power of attorney. You want anything legal, give them power of attorney. Something happens to me, power of attorney.
Lord.
They can come visit me and have the same rights as a legalized
Don't listen
wife
to
or man.
him. He's married.
But guess what?
Don't
The good part is the government won't be in your business. If something happens to your relationship and it dissolves or anything, you won't have the man sticking his hand in saying, here, let me get my portion of this relationship out of it as well. That's all I'm saying. I don't have any problem with people loving each other, coming together, be with each other, but actually getting a marriage license and going down there and doing the whole signing shit and doing all that. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I'm looking at
going
back
our times
to
are changing too. So
going.
I mean, marriage traditionally was to be. It was illegal. It's it's a legal thing for a chain of
It was a
succession.
protection. It was also a protection for the family because we know how things are set up.
Right.
Like if there's
even the
certain things,
government.
there's certain powers that you have as a family that
Mhm.
you don't have as a couple together. You know what I mean? With your
Yeah.
children, with your spouse. So you know what I mean? It was kind of like a protection
Originally.
for
Originally. Now it's just
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
it's still it's
originally.
just a tax. It's just a tradition tax basically now. That's what it still is because
But I mean,
the government
for
protects the
example,
family.
for
The
example, if
marriage no
we
longer
let's just say
protects the
I'm taking.
family. Marriage does not protect the family
But
anymore.
let's just say
I mean,
you and I I'm staying home and we're not married,
Mhm.
and I'm staying home taking care of the children. And That's the decision we made.
Mhm.
But you can't cover me under the insurance because we're not married. You can only cover the children. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that marriage allows you to do that if you're not married, you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then you'll have to pay extra for her to get her own insurance, or you know what I mean. That's just a simple example of you know what I mean. So, but that's just there are things that
Insurance
marriage comes
purposes.
handy for certain people.
Insurance purposes.
For example, insurance is just one of those things. That's that's very important, by the way.
I mean, free
It's very
healthcare.
important.
Maybe that's the reason why we don't have free healthcare. Maybe one of the
I don't
reasons
know,
why we don't have free healthcare.
possibly, or because
that's
people want choices.
and
People want
then
choices.
now when you talk about the patriarchy, that's the patriarchy. That's the patriarchy.
Yeah,
The
but
patriarchy is not a dude coming home
that is
being
an
like, "Yo, I
agreement.
worked.
That is
Where's my food?"
an
That is
agreement
not
that
the
a couple
patriarchy.
has where she's taking care of the family
Yeah.
at home
That's
while
why.
he's working. That's an agreement that they would have.
Yeah, that would be agreement. But I'm just saying, I'm saying
Right.
the patriarchy would be, hey, you got to be married so you can get insurance. You have to marry her.
Right, and I mean
But we know that maybe at one point in time, and I can't even think of any point of American history where it would be conducive to do that because there's always been a group of sub laws that actually govern how your family is, how the kids are going to do, whether it's going to school and getting shots and stuff like that, or in ages and legal working ages and stuff like that. Like they already if you get married, you get divorced, they gotta, and then after that, they're like, oh, you can do with there's a lot of say when it comes to the family, where it comes to things that are the family. So I just think that if you love someone, like I don't necessarily think you have to or should run down to the courthouse.
I think it's personal. Some people like I'm a Christian and I believe in God and I believe that God is,
you think so you believe that God said,
the family,
go down to the courthouse and pay this $50 and have two witnesses here.
No.
When God is
no, because you can be married in the eyes of God. That literally, you can be married in the eyes of God. But what I'm saying is that also and many people do that. They just get married in the church and they don't even have the papers. But then again, if God forbid I was to get sick tomorrow, and we're not married, you can't even put me under your insurance. So now I have a horrible sickness and now I have no insurance.
And that's why I bring up the patriarchy.
Because now how am I gonna get sick?
That's why I bring up the patriarchy. We're talking about conversation.
But then again, you can also get sick.
Real quick,
and
let's stop right there.
And you're under my insurance.
Let's go on that point right there.
Goes both ways. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, but I'm bringing up the patriarchy. I'm bringing up the patriarchy right now because that was going to be my next question too. But that's the patriarchy that you have to go through this in order to be taken care of, right? And like you said, now it could be me too. Like I can get, and I have to be on your insurance now, right?
Right.
This shit is really outdated. So when they're talking, if they're talking about the patriarchy in this roundtable, because by the way, let me show you again. This is what we're talking about, this roundtable conversation here, and they're bringing up patriarchy. Like I don't think we're talking about patriarchy. Like when you're talking it within a personal romantic relationship and talking about the patriarchy in there, I think they're full of shit when they say that. Now, if you're talking about the patriarchy as in, hey, these laws have been installed historically to keep a thumb on the head of a woman here. So if she can't maneuver without being attached to a man here, well, if you want to end that, we have to end that. But ending it isn't just saying, "Hey, you're being a rough and tumble man, and you need to be sensitive and listen to women and feminize yourself or whatever." And I know I'm being exaggerating from the message that they're actually saying, but like ultimately, we should be talking about is the actual ironclad. When we're talking about patriarchy, we're talking about those governors and senators sitting there voting against a woman's right to abortion. You know, that is the patriarchy that we're talking about. We're not discussing patriarchy within a personal relationship between some people or within a family dynamic. It's fucking ridiculous. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'm saying it's a waste of time for all of these men of color, black men, to be even talking this way. It's quite stupid to me. It's quite stupid to me. Hey, you want to be
Why
a
do you
better
think
man?
it's stupid, though?
Yeah, but when you're bringing it up as the patriarchy, now it just seems like it sounds like some liberal cuck stuff. Honestly, that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound authentic. It doesn't sound like anything that these men are saying is really truly unauthentic to a real relationship that people go through.
Well, I think you went left real quick, the whole conversation.
Right.
But I think the purpose was, from what I gathered, or at least the name of the show or whatever this is, it seems like they wanted to give their perspective on basically the relationship between men and women, and obviously there are people of different generations. So I guess, everyone was going to just give their input or whatever. But, obviously, like we saw, it just did not happen that way. I don't know what the rest of it looks like. But it seems like it was just about how, and perhaps, how women treat men is going to come up, and everything. I don't know where this is going. Yeah. But from what I saw, it was more kind of like what men need to do for women and to build that relationship, because if you're in social media, it has been, not on social media, you don't have to be in social media. The way women are, especially black women, are treated by men, and, and how there are some, people say, oh, a lot of black women are single mothers and the men just run out and blah, 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 blah. We know there are many, factors that affect that. It's not just, men leaving, obviously, incarceration and a whole bunch of other nonsense and ignorance and a whole bunch of stuff. But, and I think their purpose was to kind of change the narrative. Like, let's be there for women instead of let's change what's been happening throughout history in our, community. Let's change that and let's be proactive. And how do we as black men do this to make, our black women happy? And, the future black women that are little girls now and that will be born happy, and and not just happy, but fulfill them, you know what I mean, instead of feeling like, oh, I don't have a father, I don't have a brother, I don't have men that protect me, I don't feel protected, I feel attacked by men. Changing that's what I thought that was going to happen here. This whole thing, I thought that was going to happen, and perhaps it will at the end, for the rest of the show. But I think I think that was the message that we're trying to create, perhaps, when they first started this whole thing. And I don't think you should change at all. I think they should have just, probably told that guy to leave and focus on what the message, at hand was. Like, and just say, what, better men for women. Yeah. And then the black women need to come together, because they do have black women, they do have women doing these roundtables also. And they come together and do the same exact thing, because men also need to hear what women are thinking. I mean, that would just be proactive. Because if you just have men telling women and women are not telling men, how are we communicating? There's just no communication. It would be true. It would probably be
best if they would have just had both sexes there.
But then it would be, but I don't think that would be good, because it would be women over talking men, and no, you're wrong and you're right. And, like, just happened. The gay guy was very comfortable and acting crazy.
That was another point of why.
Because he probably has the perspective of a lot of women that the other guys don't.
I got another call.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't think having women. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no.
I talk too much.
No, finish. Talking shit, getting clicks.
No, go ahead. Pick up the call.
I mean, because I got flashback in the queue, and you already know flashback and go in.
Okay, well then I'm gonna say bye. Then I'm gonna give him his time. So bye. Nice talking to you.
Love.
For 25 minutes I talked. Bye.
Insane.
Y'all still live?
What's up?
Is this still a live show?
We are live streaming right now, as you speak.
Okay.
Hey,
I,
before you start, can I
well,
say something before you start? I'm sorry. Thank you for getting here. But I didn't get to
okay.
respond to Love, and then what I wanted to respond to Love was like in the African American Black community, I don't think that we are necessarily a patriarchy. I think that we tend to lean to the matriarchal side, and I mean, from uh, you know, the way that the 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 black mother is revered, right? To the I don't know, the comedy saying that Barack Obama is Michelle's husband. Like we have, uh, from better or less, from what you see on the internet, black men and black women have excellent relationships, and we deal with each other. I think um, on like one of the highest levels of all of society. So when I say I think this roundtable is stupid, I thought it was stupid from that point of view of these guys trying to discuss patriarchy within black relationships. Like that kind of threw me for a spin. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have right here the one, the only, the drop, the
Ain't nothing.
flashback.
Well, the reason I'm calling in is at the last part I tried to put in the chat because I'll be honest with you, I was banging my head against the wall because for a minute I was like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? And first of all, I just want to say I was interested in the show after you got into the round table with the men. I was distracted, so when I came in, I just heard the brother getting into the confrontation each other, and you was coming back and explaining the patriarch. So my reason for calling in, if you can catch me up, because my first question was, what is the definition of what was the
Of like a patriarchy.
the meaning of I felt about patriarchy? Yeah, that took me for a spell first, and then y'all got into the men and the women, and then I didn't know if it was about the homosexual guy being on the table
There's a lot. We're
or
basically
what.
talking about the whole round table because I know you might be confused, and anybody that's watching may be confused. Just follow closely. All right, follow closely. We're talking about the entire the
Bring
black
me up
men
to date.
trust thing. So I'm explaining as I'm going through it because I like to jump around a lot. So as I basically it's a round table about black men trusting trust black women roundtable. That's called the Black Man Trust Black Women Roundtable, and it's presented. That's the title of it. The title seems a little crunchy to me in the first place, right? So these guys are all talking about their experiences of loving and being around black women and things that we ought to do and need to be doing and not doing in relationships and in society as men. And when they're talking about patriarchy, they're basically talking about patriarchy as being like is a social system in which men hold primary power. That means politics. That means moral authority, property ownership, control over institutions, while women and other genders, there you go, are largely excluded from these positions of power. And when we're talking about patriarchy by that definition, um, yes, there's black men that have moral authority as reverends and leaders of the communities and everything like that. Yes, there's political leadership. Yes, they have property ownership, but we do not necessarily have the control over these institutions as black men. We do not have control over these institutions to be properly part of what you would quote unquote call a patriarchy. Second of all, it's my observation, not just through researching of our black history of the many phenomenal black women and men that have come, our ancestors through history. I understand that our households in America are totally different than white households in America. Not totally, there's some American, things that we all have in common and everything like that. But the way the heart and soul of relationships are totally different in black households than white households by far. It's more matriarchal than anything. Is it matriarchal because of, say, slavery, because of men being stripped away from their families, from more likely of women being allowed to be with their children when the families are separated, so on and so forth? Does it come from those 450 years of slavery that Clifton Powell was talking about, right? Does it? And I would say definitely. Not only that, come on now, we're talking about slavery 450 years. We just came out of slavery in the 60s. People like to say 1856, blah, 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 but we didn't get civil rights until the late 1960s, right? So we're talking about this man is 70 years old. He was born through a time where black people didn't have civil rights at all. And that's something that he's trying to explain. The thing that gets me is that there's dudes sitting there with gray in a beard talking some effing nonsense in there and looking around at the stuff that he's saying like bro, like you should be old and wise enough to understand where he's coming from and why he's saying the things that he's saying. Because I don't think anybody at that table is necessarily ignorant. Ill-informed, yes. Ignorant and incapable of learning or understanding, I don't think so. Even though the Fashion Nova fashion guy was acting like he didn't have no sense. So like that's my whole argument, was that this round table was stupid because we don't have that type of patriarchy that needs to be overthrown or usurped in black relationships or anything like that. Other than that, the relationship between black men and black women and black men coming together to say, hey, I'm throwing all my bullshit out on the table. How can I be a better man for these women or whatever? I have no problem at that. No problem with that at all. But when they start talking this new age patriarchy stuff, it gets me, Pops. And I know sometimes you look at me as your son, as a newer generation guy that like, oh man, like these newer generations. But I still got a little bit of old school with me. And I don't necessarily think that's a negative thing at all, especially when I'm looking at stuff like this from my peers, quote unquote.
Just like as Love said, a lot of it does come from the experience of how you was raised, your household, your family. It does put a special part on your upbringing and thinking. But I would like to go back to Brother Powell, because as you know, I'm not ashamed. I thank God that I got to see 70 years of life right now. Now, the difference, the only thing I can say, and I got the opportunity to meet that brother personally. I got the opportunity to perform in one of the movies that he starred in. But besides that, what I can say, looking at him, as we say, we have our stereotypes or conceptions when it comes to entertainment and stars. One thing I can say when I met that brother is that I was shocked in a sense, because you would have this especially expectations, how you look at people in the entertainment business. And I said he was a truly down to earth, true brother that, like you said, you could meet in the church, on your job, in the grocery store. He didn't have nothing over his head to make you think that he was better or anything else. Now, what I would say again that I have to say differently that made his experience a little different than the average man is because as young as he was, he did start it out in the entertainment business. So with the entertainment business, the things that he experienced and he's seen and he knows, just like some of the stuff Cat Williams be talking about, excuse the expression, but he done seen and experienced some shit that we never will get the opportunity to see. Only thing we know is what we get through the entertainment news. So when I look at him and his experience, and he said it took him 70 years, I say that's because the 70 years that he lived compared to the average man. For myself, all that stuff, even what we see now with the Epstein file, I never experienced any of those things in the 70 years of my life. So in comparison, it would be a little difficult that on that part for some of the things of experience we're talking about. I will hope that some of those men wouldn't have to experience those things that he can probably share. On the other hand, I was confused because, as you say, I didn't know if it was all men sitting at the table, because the way the conversation was going and listening to your conversation, I was curious if there was gay men sitting at the table trying to share their part of manhood and women and experience, because one thing shocked me, there was actually a brother sitting at the table. I don't know his exact name, but I know he was entertainment, and he was in this show called Peep Party, which was about and strip club that was owned by this gay man. And I couldn't put for the point of my life in entertainment, if you're a true man, regardless, see, when I look at Tyler Perry, how could you put yourself that you can actually be naked and show yourself penetrating another man and his butt? And then at the same time, call that acting.
Time out. See, time out. So, which show is this called?
I think it's Peep. I think it's Peep Party or Peep something. It's about a strip club. It was
Have you ever seen the show? Have you ever seen the show?
That's why I told you, one of the brothers that was sitting at the table, I watched him butt naked. If that was acting, that actually was penetrating another man. And after I'd seen that, I stopped watching the show. And but the sad part now,
did you finish the episode out, or like what? Did you finish the episode, or like, oh, this is my last, or did you finish the season?
No, I bits and parts. I just lost interest. But, here's the part where you trying to take it there. Even your kids, and here's the part that you sit up there to that part where we we try to touch on each other about when it comes to homosexuals and stories we've seen. You can't even watch a commercial without homosexuality now. I haven't seen
but you know what?
a
I have no
regular
problem
TV
watching
show
a gay guy eat some Cheerios. You know what? But I do have a problem
TV.
watching full frontal nudity and sex, and that's like
Well,
me personally. I don't like it. I don't like it.
well,
But to be honest with like
I just told
gratuitous
you.
sex, period, like kind of is a turn off in these storytellings and movies and stuff like that, because you can tell like they're just gonna throw a sex scene in here
Well,
because this show is weak.
we do. Well, some shows we do like we do with our children. We fast forward. But what I'm saying now, this day and age,
How about
is
if you
nothing
go to the
that
movies
you
though?
can
Real
watch
quick.
on.
How about if you take a child to the movies?
Well,
Can you fast forward the movie?
well, here.
What if you take a child
Well,
to a movie
no,
called I don't know, The
but
Crying Game?
what we
And what if you take your
what we do
10-year-old
when
son to a movie
what
called
do
The
we
Crying
do
Game?
what do we do when we take a children or a child to a movie that we're ignorant about? We put our hands over their eyes. We tell them to close their eyes,
Yeah,
right?
so when you're yelling
So
at
if that's the hint, if
Yo,
that's
that
the
was
hint that
double
you're trying to
embarrassing.
throw,
I-
but the point that you miss, that you're trying to throw back, the point I'm trying to make to make my point to what you're saying about the men at the table. I'm giving you a description of a man that I said I did see that. That's the point that I'm trying to get you to see, to understand what you was even trying to show me on a show that I looked at in front of the door. Said, well, what is this about? Because even you and L. Love Level even brought in the homosexual and gay thing. That's why I said from what I was seeing watching the show, I was completely confused. Now to go back to the other part that you're taking me, I would say on your part, when it comes to something like that, since I was confused, instead of you coming in trying to display to me what I was trying to watch, those one of those things that you let go through, and then after you go through, then you have the conversation, and then you get the information from even myself of what I observed and what I.
Give it up for Flashback. Give it up for Flashback. Watching the dudes. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, this is what I think. At the end of the day, I think there's always room to have these uncomfortable conversations as long as we continue to have them in the proper light. And that's coming in with a bit of curiosity, a heavy dose of respect, and an open mind, right? And a clean, pure heart. Because once you start bringing in your personal projections into a conversation, that's when things can get a little iffy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mo 3 times. We live, talking shit, getting clicks. We love it. See you guys next week. Forever.
to see. Victory.